If you know me, you know we don't let our kids have cell phones or screens of any kind. But the other day, my wife was walking past one of my sons and he had my phone out and he started up scrolling really quickly, like he was hiding something. So she stopped and she said, "Hey, what are you doing on the phone?" He said, "Oh," and he looked really remorseful, like I was shopping for some stuff on Amazon. I'm sorry, I know I wasn't supposed to be. She could just tell something was off. He was a little too remorseful really quick. And so she goes to looking through my phone and realizes that Amazon, not only is it open, it's like four tabs over. So he was obviously doing something else on the phone. And she asked him, and he said, "Actually, I hid Amazon back so that if you guys caught me, it wouldn't look like I was on Amazon. Maybe I was doing something lesser." It was just not adding up because Amazon's not that big a grievance anyway. So she's like, "I don't believe you. What were you doing on the phone?" And as I hear this conversation, I go in and ask her to come in the kitchen and I say, "Hey, look, this might be something more serious than we thought. If he's looking at images of women somewhere on the phone, I would like to be the one to talk to him about it." Right. So we kind of do some sleuthing around on my phone to figure out what was the last thing that was pulled up. Well, it turns out that someone had downloaded a video game app on my phone called Mob Control. Dumb game, whatever. But it had been used for about 6 hours over the last few days. Now, what I haven't told you is that my son, I will let him listen to audiobooks sometime to go to sleep. And when I do that, I usually say, "Look, this is just for audiobooks. There's no scrolling the internet. Don't open up social media. Okay, don't look at music or listen to music. It's just for your audiobook. Okay, I trust you. You got it?" And he says, "Dad, yeah, I trust you." So we know that he's been playing this video game at night when he's supposed to be listening to his audiobook. So this is Thanksgiving night. I'm like, all right, let me go up and talk to him later. So that night I went up to his room and I sit down and I told him a couple stories around when I had interacted with employees who had lied about things and I had shown them the evidence. And the more we talked about it, the further they got into their lie. And they had to tell lie on top of lie to try to cover it up or explain away the evidence. After I told him, I said, "Son, I want to ask you one more time what you were doing on my phone. I know what you were doing. I would like you to tell me." So he confessed. He confessed to looking up Mob Control on his phone. He'd been playing that video game. So in this moment, there's a lot of stuff that I can do as his dad. I can definitely shame him and be like, you misused my trust. I put trust in you and you totally violated it. I'll never let you have a phone again. How am I ever supposed to trust you with anything if you lie to me and you don't do what you say? Like, we're men of our word, right? And you violated that trust. Like, I could have gone down that road and beat him up with it, right? I could have also ignored it and been passive and not said anything at all. But trying to think about, how do I interact with my son in a way that puts a boundary, that acknowledges his deceit, that puts a boundary around this behavior that's bad, but also doesn't send him in the shame and tell him that I think I'm judging him, that makes him feel like there's a break in our relationship. So I just said, "All right, son, two things are going to happen. Number one is that you're not going to be allowed to touch my phone at all, not for audiobooks, not for anything. I'm changing the passcode on it. That's not your fault. That's on me as your father. I let you have a freedom and a responsibility that you are not ready for." It's like, it's a big temptation, the phone. And I shared a bunch of stuff that I did when I was a kid that was way worse. Like, "Son, I did way worse things than you were. This isn't the worst thing, but it was a violation of my trust." Right. So I'm not going to let you have access to a phone anymore. That's a responsibility that you're going to have to earn, and I'll give you opportunities to earn it. Right. So that's thing one. Thing two, though, is not only did you lie, you crafted a pretty clever lie. You confessed to a lesser evil so that you wouldn't get in trouble for a greater evil. You were trying to throw us off the scent. I was like, that's some pretty mature level deception right there. Like, so you're going to get a consequence for that. And that's over the next 2 weeks. Anytime there's screen time, instead of you getting to do the screen time, you're going to have to read a book, right? He's got books for school. Like, you're going to have to read while everybody else is doing screen time, right? And I'm just putting that there because you have to know there's a boundary for that. But outside of that, I want you to know that you're never going to get in trouble for telling us the truth, right? And you did tell me the truth after I had to find out, but you still told me, right? I didn't have to come and give it to you. And you're not going to be in more trouble now because you told the truth than you were for the original thing that you did. So this is the consequence I would have given you. But it is this kind of thing that does make me feel like, do I know I can trust him? And I'm constantly giving you opportunities to build that trust. And I trust you in so many things, right? I can let you watch your little brother. I trust you to do that. I trust you to clean, to organize things around the home. Like there's so many things that you are very trustworthy in. This is one area where you need to grow, right? So we're going to work together in that. We're going to work together. I'm going to give you opportunities. You're going to be able to earn that trust back. Anyway, so we kept talking about it. Here's the point. When you come to a moment like this with your children and you're trying to figure out, I need to have a boundary around this misbehavior that can't go, sort of unaddressed. But I also want him to know I love him and I don't want to beat him down. You need to be able to talk about it in a way that draws him into connection, that speaks to his heart, that lets him know my dad believes in me, right? That's why this is a big deal, because he loves me, because he trusts me, because he knows I can be better and wants me to be better. And he's on my side. He's going to help me to be better than that. So left that conversation feeling great. It takes a lot of wisdom, a lot of intuition, sort of playing it by ear to know how to do that in each situation with your child. But just keep in mind, when you're disciplining your child, it is about the orientation of the heart, right? Consequences that are merely punitive, right? That invites rebellion and invites brokenness. You're always trying to shape their heart towards that which is good, true, and beautiful, right? I'm always wanting to orient my child's heart towards Christ. So that was my goal here.